everyone, it's James.
And Stephanie, and if you are thinking about getting an RV, this video is going to be for you.
That's right. We are here at the Tucson EKKO Rally, and it's kind of like the last day. Things are sort of wrapping up. Yeah. But what we thought would be fun would be to go out and ask people what advice they might have for someone in your situation.
Yeah, because they're all experienced. They've been through the purchasing an RV process, and hearing from owners is just so valuable when you're making your own decisions. So let's go find some owners.
Let's check it out.
We found Kelly and Gordon. So you guys, how long have you had your EKKO? Let's start there.
The EKKO just 3 months, since August, yeah.
Since August, so it's pretty new to you. How many trips have you taken so far?
This is our second large trip.
Ah,
We've been out 3 times.
Yeah.
Wow, right on. So you're pretty new to this, so you guys are great ones to ask. What advice would you give to prospective RVers?
Well, I think a big thing is know how you're going to use it, and that sort of informs what features you need and want, and then make a list of the features that are must-haves that you absolutely can't live without. Like in our case, it was all-wheel drive.
Because you know you want to go off-road?
We live where it snows a lot. So we need all-wheel drive.
We don't want to chain up.
Yeah.
No chaining up.
No chains. We want to, and we use them in the winter. So these are very well insulated. So we use them in the winter. We know we want to carry our road bikes in the back out of the weather. So good storage space there. So just making a list of the things that are absolute must-have features.
Okay.
That you know you need that kind of.
So you guys did that. You knew what features you needed before you started shopping for your EKKO.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we had the EKKO in mind, but then, because it had all the features, but then we went to one of our large local dealers with a huge indoor showroom. So we could look at other units too and sort of compare and contrast.
I like that. I like that. So you got to see them in person, touch them, feel them.
Walk through them, see, can I fit inside them? Because I'm kind of tall, and a lot of them I can't fit in.
Can you fit in the bed?
Can I fit in the bed?
Fit in the bed.
Can I take a shower without squatting? Things like that.
Well, and I guess that's a way to solidify. Yes, the EKKO is the right one because we're able to go there in person and compare.
Yes.
Right.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. That was great advice. We appreciate you guys.
You're welcome.
No problem.
All right, I'm doing this the easy way. I'm sitting down, and I'm here with Eddie. Now, Eddie, this is your first RV, right?
First RV.
So what advice would you get? How long have you had it?
11 months.
So what advice would you give yourself like 12 months ago, Eddie? What would you tell him?
I probably wouldn't go about it any differently. I narrowed it down to the type of van we wanted, not even knowing this existed. We wanted something small. The B class is a little bit too small.
Yeah.
I know a guy who has a Rebel, and it's just a little tight. So we started looking at C classes like the Compass 4, I think it is. Yeah. And they're okay. But then we found this model that it checked the important boxes that others weren't, like all-wheel drive, the insulation, a very advanced solar system, lithionics, et cetera, et cetera. So I decided I landed on this. And once I decided that the EKKO, this Transit was for us, and then I started looking for a used one. So I just shopped the nation for quite a while.
You did that online primarily?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I some phone calls, and I found this at Savannah, Georgia.
Okay.
At an Airstream dealer. I talked to the sales manager on, kind of made some arrangements, flew to Savannah, did a test drive, drove it home.
Okay, so if I had to distill that down, I'd say your advice would be to decide what you want, then start making contact.
Oh yes, because I saw it as a commodity. There's not a lot of variations between models, and the nuances wouldn't make any difference to me anyway. So I was just looking for miles, year, and price.
Okay, so you went at it very much like buying
a used car.
Vehicle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Cool. Good advice. Thanks, Eddie.
You're welcome.
All right, so I'm here with Kate and Malcolm. And how long have you been RVing?
4 years.
4 years. And this isn't your first RV then, or is it?
It is our first RV, yeah. We came from tent camping, and
It's a step up.
It's a step up, definitely. Much more comfortable.
So if you had a friend who told you they were considering buying an RV, what advice would you give them?
Definitely do as much research as you can. An RV is an expensive item. It's a luxury item.
Very much.
So we definitely looked at the cost of running one. You know, it's not just the purchase price, it's the storage, it's the maintenance,
upgrades.
Upgrades, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, parking is a big one. It's one we hear a lot. Are you in an HOA?
We are, and we get fined. Well, I don't get fined, but we get reported if it's there for more than 24 hours. So we always have to be very careful when we do upgrades, when I do work on it.
You got to be done today.
Try and do it at the weekends, but we both work, so it becomes difficult to do that sometimes.
Okay, so do your research and examine all the finances. It sounds like you're a spreadsheet guy, maybe.
Yes, I put a spreadsheet together. I'm an engineer.
I am too.
So we put the costs involved in owning an RV, depreciation, which actually in this case, having owned it for 4 years, that hasn't been too bad because the prices have gone up so much. But no, we said as long as we can use it once a month, then it
was worth it. Right.
Sense to
Calculate it out.
Nice. And do you have any advice, Kate?
Yeah, don't skip the walkthrough. Don't skip the walkthrough. I did. Malcolm did the walkthrough by himself, and then it took me months to catch up, I think, to know all of the pieces and wherever. So now I know how to work it, but it took a long time to be able to do that. Perhaps if he had videotaped the walkthrough, that might have been helpful. Abbreviated walkthrough, so I knew all the pieces.
That's a classic tip, is to video the walkthrough.
And then know where your tools are and how to use them. I did not know any tools. I don't know as many tools as Malcolm, but I do know some tools. I can put screws back in and some of the basic things in the RV.
But you're still loving it?
Absolutely.
Still loving it.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Thanks, guys.
All right, I'm with Rick and Rhonda, and you all have had your EKKO for a few years now, right?
Yep.
And it
3
was
years.
3
Almost
years?
3 years, yep, in March.
And was it your first RV?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So you might remember back to that whole purchase process. So what advice would you have for somebody that was thinking about buying an RV?
Well, the first thing would be to make a list of pros and cons of different ones and how you're going to use it.
Okay.
And once you get to that point, try to rent one before you buy it.
Yeah, because there's a lot of websites nowadays where people can rent out their own RVs, and I know there's plenty of EKKOs out there for rent. So you're saying for if someone was interested in an EKKO, they could just get online, rent it first, make sure
before they actually bought it
Yeah.
and see if that worked for them.
Was there anything, so you guys, when you got your EKKO, was there anything about it that surprised you or you liked or right after you bought it that now when you go buy your second one, you'll be a little smarter about? Was there anything like that?
Well, the garage is a huge thing. And for us, to be honest with you, we went to the Overland Expo and saw all from cheap to super expensive. And we left there that the EKKO was definitely the right RV for us.
It was the right pick, and we may not buy another RV. That may
for
be
us, I
our
mean, we're
forever-
older, so we might not ever buy another RV. And if we did, it would either be another EKKO or something with the exact same configuration, garage.
Big garage.
We bike, so the garage was a huge thing for us. And all-wheel drive was a huge thing.
Okay, so when you bought your EKKO, you went into it knowing you wanted something small, all-wheel drive for your bikes. You went to the Overland show, and that's where
that was after.
That was after?
That's when we realized of all the RVs we saw there that we had actually picked the right one for us, which was a huge, good feeling that we came away that we made the right choice.
But I really like that advice to rent because you don't know what you don't know. And so once you get in there and you get hands-on, you're using the water system, you can really learn, is this gonna work for me? That's a great piece of advice. Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks.
All right,
I'm here with Janelle and Santiago. Now, how long have you guys been RVing?
Oh, since early 1990.
Oh, wow. So how many RVs have you had?
We've had 5 RVs.
Class A, B, C?
Yes, Class A's
Class A's.
and Class B's, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so you've got experience with a wide variety of even different types of RVs. If you had to give some advice to someone who was looking to purchase an RV, maybe their first time out, what advice would you give them?
I would say that both people, if it's a couple, they both need to be able to drive the RV. I think that's really, really important.
And that's probably a very different experience with a Class A to a Class B to a Class C. And you can drive this, no problem, right?
Yes, an EKKO is really easy to drive. You can practice if you feel like it's really tall, like if you're used to a smaller car, but it's very easy to drive.
Okay. And I guess compared to like a Class A, it's much different.
Yes, we used to have a Class A and we towed a Subaru behind it. I would drive the Subaru when we unhooked, but I would never drive the Class A.
It'd be like 50-something feet long.
It's too long.
No,
Ours
well,
was-
yeah, with the car.
With the
yeah,
car,
yeah,
with the
yes,
car.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's true.
Yeah.
How about you, Santiago? What advice would you have for people?
Well, I would just say maybe research the new RV you're looking at for, and internet, YouTube, everything, because you just it's wise to be aware of what you're going to get.
Cool. Thanks, guys. All right, I'm here with Bud and Sarah. And Sarah, what have you got going on here? You've got your bike is apart.
It is. I was bike packing in New Mexico, and I'm swapping all the pieces back to make it a little more road friendly. I carry lots of stuff in the gearbox.
Nice, nice. So, and how long have you guys been RVing? I know we've seen you around.
3.5 years?
3.5 years, yeah.
Okay, so the question of the day is, what advice would you give a friend or relative or someone who was thinking about buying an RV and maybe they hadn't before? What advice would you? I guess we'll start with you, Bud. What do you got?
Yeah, that's a great question. Other than the basics of like do your research before you just buy.
Right.
For us, the big part was using what we bought and making sure we understood how everything worked before we wanted to customize it and personalize it. So, because we found there are some things that work great for what we do and didn't need customization, even though there's lots of people doing upgrades.
I'm guilty.
Yeah,
Guilty.
yeah, and taking inspiration from that has been great once we decided that's something that we would find valuable based on our use case. Maybe the most simplest example was we wanted the shocks and struts from a little bit more stabilization, but we are not huge off-road even though Sarah is on her bike. We do not go to a place where we needed a lift.
Okay.
So even though most people were saying, do your lift and the shocks and struts together, that was not our need. So we're not going to do that. So that was one of the reasons why it made sense, and some things that after we used it for several years, like more than 2, we realized what made sense, like the window. For us,
window in the door, yeah.
The extra light, because I work from the rig, so having that extra light or ventilation made sense to us, but it was not something I would have just said do right away until you decide if you need it.
And that's something maybe I will come out personally and say, because I am probably guilty of influencing a number of people to do mods, but make sure that the mod is something you really will use before you abuse it, I guess.
Exactly.
Is how I would say that. Because it may work fine just as it is, and you'll save yourself a headache and a lot of money.
A lot of time.
All right, Sarah, what about you?
Well, I think one of the things I realized is you have to really remember this is not a brand new car and it's not a brand new house. It is a different creature, and it will have foibles over time. You're shaking it as you're driving down the road, and so you just need to understand that it's not going to be perfect. Things are going to break. You're going to need to work on things, but it's still wonderful. But just don't have that expectation that it's like a brand new car driving off the line or a brand new house that you just took delivery of.
Nice.
I think your statement earlier when we just were talking about things is this is an investment in fun. This is not something.
It's not an investment property.
So if you're going to put $20,000+ of mods into your rig, that is for your enjoyment, not because you're going to get that money back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. These are all about fun.
Yes.
All right.
They are.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
All right.
Thanks.
All right. I'm here with Janice, Patrick, Larry, Donna, and I'm getting hungry. So, so guys, now this is this your first RV, Patrick?
First RV.
If I got that right? And Larry and Donna, you've had RVs before, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we're trying to find out what advice people would give to, let's say you had a friend or a neighbor or someone who was thinking about buying an RV, any kind of RV. What advice would you give them?
I'd say ask yourself, what do you want to do with your RV?
Okay.
And then go out and rent one. Before you spend 6 figures, spend 3 figures and take it out for a couple days. And for us, our first trip, it wasn't this, it was a Class B, but we knew that wasn't the rig we wanted, but we knew it was a lifestyle we wanted. We were hooked.
Okay.
And before we've had RVs before, but before we bought this, because we've always had, well, I've had different size rigs, but before we bought this, we drove a van, we drove a big Class A.
Oh, wow.
So just to test out different rigs and see what kind of camping lifestyle we wanted to be in. So
yeah.
Cool. And what about like after, let's say you've bought an RV and you're still kind of new, your first RV, you're very new to it. What would you tell someone in that kind of situation?
Find friends who know what they're doing, because we didn't. But thankfully the community we found was full of folks who just poured lots of suggestions and people would talk about problems that we hadn't yet had. But then when those problems would come up, we'd be like, oh yeah, I think I read about that. Here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
And that made all the, otherwise, if I was just going on my own, it'd been frustrating.
Yeah.
At times.
And with social media today, it's easy to find communities to help you and give you support. And you can put your questions out there, and there's a lot of great people out there to help you. So
I think it's more about, I mean, I know all those things are important about how your rig runs, but he takes care of all that. So I just want the community in terms of friends. You know, we didn't know these guys, and we've done so many fun things around the country with them. It's been great. And you guys, it's been awesome.
Yeah. And we should count the states in which we've encountered each other.
I know.
It's quite a few.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Okay, and now I've got probably the most important question. Do you have any more?
Yes.
For you, James.
So that's going to wrap it up here from the Tucson EKKO Rally. I think the favorite piece of advice I heard was from Bud, who said kind of try using the RV as it is before you think you need to go making a whole bunch of modifications to it. I know people that watch my channel might get swept up in the mods, but it might work fine just as it is, right?
Yeah, but we do see a lot of people who do that. They buy their RV and they immediately rush off to an upfitter shop and they get a whole bunch of mods done. But yeah, Bud nailed it.
5,000 miles later, they sell it. Yeah.
Well, I liked Patrick's advice where he said, you know, community finds your community, because you get so much advice and tips. You get to see what problems or what good things are happening, and you get inspiration. So whether that be a Facebook group for your type of RV or maybe something through the specific manufacturer. I know our Winnebago EKKO owners group is super tight. That's why we're all gathered here right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, finding your community is a good piece of advice. But there was a lot of great advice. It was interesting to hear what all the owners had to say.
Anyway, that's going to do it for now. So there will be a post over on thefitrv.com that we'll link down in the YouTube description. If you have comments, questions, or other tips that you want to share, feel free to hop on over and comment and ask questions there. We'll try to get back to you.
Thanks for watching, everybody, and good luck on RV shopping.
Bye.